Ladies and gentlemen, podcast viewers of adult ages, allow me the pleasure of introducing tonight's entertainment. Brought to you courtesy of the Antisocial Network. The incredible, the mysterious, and of course alluring, Misbehaving's Redrum. Shake a tail feather for us, on with the show.
Welcome. It's Redrum with your favorite, your mysterious and alluring Misbehaving. And I'm ready to shake a tail feather with you all. So thank you for joining me. It's Tuesday. I have to apologize to all my faithful fans and viewers. It's spring break time, even though the bunny doesn't come for another 20 days. My birthday, actually, 4/20. But spring break apparently hit last week, and I had to take a little time and work on my tan. I wish y'all could actually see it because it is very alluring, and it's definitely mysterious because you can't see it. But yes, I can't wait until summertime, because spring is sprung, but it's not that warm yet. And we need to get our bikini body ready. So yeah, as you can see, we are looking fabulous, but I can't wait to hit the beach with you all real soon. So as I was gone, I have to say I was missing all of you, but for my favorite, I was missing Steve. Steve at Affordable Dumpster Rental. He was kind of like lurking in my dreams. I don't know if it was actually Steve or Justin. I don't know. The whole family is just kind of hot. But anyway, enough for that. Let's make sure that I get to see Steve before we start my show.
Thanks for calling Affordable Dumpster Rental. This is Steve. How can I help you today?
Well, that was a fast answer. Hi, Steve. So long story short, I'm getting ready to put my home in the market. I have 20 years of junk I need to get rid of as soon as possible. Can I get a quote, please?
I would be happy to help you. Let's find you the perfect dumpster for your project.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
That was so easy, Steve. A huge load off my mind. I honestly thought renting a dumpster would cost a lot more money. I'm so glad I called Affordable Dumpster Rental. 5 stars to you, Steve.
5 stars to Affordable Dumpster Rental, actually. Due to the fact that we work with so many customers all across the country, we are able to offer discounted professional contractors rates to everybody, every day. Thanks again for calling. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Man, I feel like I need a cigarette after that. His voice is just so dreamy. All right, enough with Steve and back to me. That's why y'all came here. Yes, not yet. Maybe we'll throw out those F-bombs in a little while. But yeah, Steve is kind of my F yeah, baby. I like to be the F yeah, too. Oh, hell with it. I like to be the fuck yeah, baby. You know, yes, PSA, we say fuck around here. And I'm that dirty sailor bitch that definitely knows how to say fuck. In more ways than one. The good ways, the bad ways, the ugly ways. You know how we weigh around here. Anyway, oh, look, ways all over the place. What's your way, baby? What's your way? Yeah, anyway, I got to be on vacation, and I've just been pondering in my head what the next steps are going to be in my transformation. Because again, I can say anything to you all, but it really, unless it resonates with you, it's not, something that everybody could possibly believe in. But if you believe in yourself and everything that you want to come true and what you want to change about yourself, it's all within you. And that's why I'm here. Yes, I want to share some of my affirmations with you about being a badass. And it really doesn't matter if anybody in your life thinks that you are. It absolutely comes from within, because once you start believing it in yourself, I'll tell you what, they're all going to fall in line, baby. Because all that beauty from within will resonate within outside. All right. Within and without, that kind of thing. And y'all been on this journey with me, and I've been getting excited. And I know it's my season. We're we're in Aries season, but I claim the whole month of April. So yeah, celebrate April with me, because the little flowers are about to bloom, and I feel like I've planted my seeds. I'm doing some watering. The sun is shining, even though right now it's the rainy season. We could always find some sunshine in our day, but it's up to you to do that, because not everybody is going to share your shine with you. But you can ease them along, say, hey, it's like baby steps. I might be too much for you, but if you just gave me a chance, guess what? Too much is sometimes just the right thing that you need. Yes, and I am the thing that I need. I hope you need me too. Yeah, you need to stand in the mirror, take a good look at yourself, and find all the great things that make you awesome. I don't care if it's the way you do a little two-step. I don't care if it's the way you flip your hair. I don't care if it's the way you flaunt a little bit. You might be good at just dressing. I don't know. Everybody has their own things that, even if the world can see them, it brings a little light within of the things that we can create, that we can be, and we can share with others to say, hey, let's smile together, even if it's just for a moment, because those moments, they all add up together, and it makes up our day. And hopefully when we go to bed at night, we could sleep tight, knowing that we were good in our lives for everybody that joined us throughout our days. Uh, you know, we have to work. And it might not be an actual paycheck job. It may be a housewife that has to take care of kids and clean the house. Everything is some type of chore. All right. And it's about how we're doing those chores with the motivation, or, hey, like that bed making. Every morning I wake up and I have to make my bed. And the reason being for it, like I said in my past shows, I like to recap for those that weren't around. But you're here now. So when I wake up in the morning, I like to make my bed, to make sure that I'm not crawling back in bed, because that's so easy to do, and just say, you know what, I have a day off. I don't feel like doing anything. Or maybe you don't have a day off and you just say, fuck, I don't want to do anything. If you make the bed, you don't want to get back in it, because who wants to make the bed twice in a day? Well, unless you're getting some good stuff in that bed for the second time you mess it up, then it's worth it, I guess. But yeah, we always like to make sure that, every once in a while we get that daytime, mess up the bed thing, but all schedules don't work that way. And, that's a fantasy in my life, at least for right now, because I'm a busy, busy bee. I make that bed to make sure that I get up and I stay out of it, and I go out and I have to work. It is a actual job. I have to deal with a lot of people all day long. And I'll tell you, when I go in there with a big smile on my face, even when I'm not all smiley inside, I fake it. Oh, and I don't like to say that I fake it because I don't fake nothing, baby, except for the psychology of me knowing that I have to turn my frown upside down. Uh. And yes, it is a psychological thing. If you trick yourself into knowing or to thinking that, hey, I'm going to have a great day and there's nobody that's going to end up putting me down, I guarantee if you stay in that shiny light, everybody that comes around you, it's going to be real hard for them to either be a hater or to be a frowny Frank around you. Yeah, we've got a lot of frowny Franks. But try it. All right. If you are just so, hi, how are you today? It's really hard for people to be mean to you. All right. And we all sometimes feel as if people are like really mean. This world is kind of cruel, especially when you're trying to be happy and inspired and motivated and supportive of others. All those emotions that the world makes you feel, uh, you got to tend to them. Because if you don't tend to them, of course, we bottle them all up inside, and eventually that cup rolls over, and not even in a good way. It will tend to come out a little mean too. And it started to, like, I've really been thinking about this as I was on spring break, and I was like, oh my God, the sun is out and everything's beautiful. And then you look, I'm a people watcher. So you end up watching people, and you can't believe that people spend all this money on having all these luxuries and having a good time. And a lot of times they're not even having a good time. Why? Because all the pressures and all the anxieties and stresses of just allowing other people to have a good time with you, it ends up being a little miserable if you don't look at it in a shiny light. And yes, throughout the winter, I have been struggling with this. And this is the reason why I have been saying, hey, how can I, not what can you do to help me, but what can I do to help myself feel as if their stresses aren't my stresses? We need to be able to remember how to breathe. And I say this very often because I hold my breath a lot. And it hurts. It hurts when all that anxiety gets stuck, that feeling in your chest and your gut, that gut feeling, that's intuition. Okay. And intuition is a very, very powerful thing. But when you get it all up in your chest and you're feeling like you're having a heart attack, that is not really a good thing. Here, let me lift my head a little bit. Anyway, I like to look at y'all. Anyway, oh, actually, hi. Now you can see me better. I wear my sunglasses at night sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, when you end up feeling all of that inside in your chest, and you think about, why am I feeling this so hard? And why does it feel painful? Well, it's because it's those things that you really shouldn't be holding on to. And you got to find a way to be able to release those. And either through taking a walk, or meditating, or sitting in a room with good music, chiefing out. It's Illinois here, so we're legal. I'm sure it really doesn't matter to y'all, but yeah, I'm going to talk about chiefing out. I am a 420 baby, and yeah, sometimes you just got to smoke a joint, all right? But for those that don't, and they ended up taking up a drink or two, everything is okay in moderation. But when we end up congesting all of everybody else's stresses that's around us, that's also an addiction. So we've got to moderate how much other people bringing in their frowny Frank is affecting us. And if it is affecting you so bad to where you're feeling it in your chest, you're consumed in your mind, your gut is telling you, hey, this isn't right. You gotta like actually look at that. It's kind of like going to the doctor. What are all the signs and symptoms that we need to tell our doctor that we're going through? Well, guess what? You really don't have to go to a doctor unless you're really feeling like you can't get control over all those anxieties. Yes, medication works for some it does not, like me. That's all right because I want to do the natural thing here. Yeah, I smoke weed, but I have to say, it makes you just, whew, you know, soberly as I'm at work, I have to find other ways to be able to say, right? Everybody feels that way. What are we? We just got to breathe it all out. Exhale. And that's what I've been working on myself. Everybody knows how to breathe, but do you really know how to breathe? It's actually hard. It's harder than you think it is when you have to say, you're breathing in strength and you're breathing out everybody else's control over you. You are the one that is in control of all of your choices. We tend to play the victim at times and say, oh, it's your fault. I feel like this. Well, in what I've been going through, my own I will speak of, I have allowed myself to give power to others on the way my reaction is to whatever their situation is. And I have to remind myself that's not my situation. How am I going to be able to support you if all you're doing is putting the situation on me or others to handle for you? Think about that. There's a fine line, and we never really see it. When we are looking upon our friends or our coworkers or our spouses or whoever your close people may be that you just need a vent or run to for guidance. See, that's the difference when people come to you. Are they coming to you for guidance? Are they coming to you for just emotional support? Or are they coming to you to see how much you can actually do for them to feel as if they don't have those stresses? But the question is that we have to find out right off the bat, and it's kind of hard to actually make spur of the moment decisions when you're dealing with other people because our emotions end up taking a play in that. If you're one that is an empath, I have a hard time with words sometimes. I make up my own. Don't pay no mind to me. But we tend to get very emotional and we let
Empathetic.
Empathetic.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's the singular, the empath. There you go. The empath. I tend to take on too much of others to be that empath, that I want to understand where everybody is coming from, so then I could be able to know how I could assist in others' pain or emotions or situations or whatever they may be. You know what I'm talking about. We tend to take on way too much of other people's emotions and we absorb them. At least I do. And when I do that, it really does take a toll on me. It drains me. It exhausts me. And I don't have enough time for my own emotions, much less anybody else's, if it ends up being that they're just taking the cop-out road. And we all know that cop-out road of those things that we really don't want to deal with, we tend to run from or play victim on and put it on everybody else. We, as humans, need to take responsibility and accountability for only the things that we do. All right? Because we can only change. We can only make things brighter. We can only react within, not because of somebody else. Us. It is our choice on how we want to respond, how we want to love, how we want to walk away. And yeah, unfortunately, some of those choices we don't want to deal with because it hurts. And you never know if it's going to hurt until you're actually doing it. Or you never know if it's going to be a great choice because look at all this other stuff that ended up coming out of it. Sometimes in our situations, there's that phrase, everything happens for a reason. It absolutely is true. But when we're in the thick of it and somebody comes and says, oh, it's only happening for a reason. And you're just like, no, don't say that. Or this too shall pass. I say that a lot too. And it's right though. Every situation in our life will eventually pass. We may not understand the reason why things are happening to us. We may not ever understand or see the signs of why things happen to us. But I promise you, in everything that we deal with, there is some type of underlying answer or a lesson. There's lessons everywhere. If you walk into a store and you know that the cashier is going to be a real bitch to you every time you say good morning, that's your choice to either continue to say, good morning, sunshine. Or maybe if she doesn't respond so much every day that you say something to her, maybe change it up. Maybe she doesn't like good morning, sunshine. She might absolutely hate mornings. But maybe you can find a different way to say, I hope you have a better day today. Everything that we do, she may respond one day. And we can't take it to heart because we don't know what every individual in this world is actually dealing with. And me, I love giving hugs to like total strangers. And as I'm walking up and I'm like, I just want to hug you. Do you see me running up? If you saw me in a store and I said, I'm so sorry, sir, but I feel like I just want to hug you. Guess what? Sometimes people look at me like I'm crazy. Some people say, yes, open arms. Most people are in shock and still give me the hug because they can't believe that a total stranger actually wanted to give them some love. I am all about sharing moments with people because even if you don't know those people, some of those people are going to carry you with them forever. You may be the reason why Frowny Frank ends up smiling every time you come in. Or even if you don't come in, maybe he's smiling because he remembers the smile that you shared with him. And now he wants to share it with others. What we give out to the world actually has an impact on people, if you know them or not. Those little compliments, those little like just winks at the corner of, hey, tip your hat at me because you're awesome. Those things are really important. And they're important for ourselves to feel too. And if you are all alone, I promise you're not. Go stand in your mirror. You all are my mirror. I love standing in my mirror and giving myself pep talks. And yeah, I'm full of confidence. At least I appear to be. It's okay to show those vulnerable moments, even if you're all by yourself, because one day you're going to be out in a big old crowd and you're going to say, you know what? I can handle anything this crowd gives out as long as I am just bouncing around, having a good time, shaking your tail feather, because that is contagious. Positivity is contagious, but you got to remember negativity is too. And when you're stomping around the house, slamming doors, and yes, I am going to be the first that sometimes I stomp around the house. I slam a motherfucking door sometimes. But at the end of the day, I end up regretting those things because the only person that it really was affecting and taking so much energy out of was me. I'm trying to express the things that have been eating up inside of me, the things that I have been filling my bottle with. What are the ways that we ourselves, because we don't control everybody else around us. The only thing that we control is us and what we give out, not for the world, but for ourselves. That is what we need to remember, that we, us individuals, actually matter, not as society. Fuck society. Guess what? Most of us have felt that society has turned their back on us. Why? Oh, because we didn't fit into their little cliques. We didn't fit into what they said that we had to do in life. See, I come from a generation of old-fashioned. And those old-fashioned ways have totally been lost now. Because now everybody says, I have a mind of my own. And yes, you do. But that mind of your own, I've noticed that society has become very selfish on how courteous they are to not only the people around them, but actually in society. With me dealing with so many people in my profession and in my life, my personal business, everything that I do, there are those people, that generation, that feel as if they can just be entitled. And if you are walking around feeling like you are entitled to do whatever the fuck you want to do and treat people like shit, you go on, boo-boo, because you ain't got no place in my society. And this is here, Redrum, baby. I want to be supportive of you, and I will always try to tip my hat to you. But let me tell you, when we put fear and hate and all that negativity out just by pumping gas. Guess what? You're walking around and you really need some sunshine, my dear. So come on and see me because I'm going to make you smile. Yes, we need a little bit more sunshine in our lives. The people that we want in our lives, we tend to push them away when we don't feel good about ourselves. And when you don't feel good within, how are we able to be good to those that we say that we love? I really have a huge, huge heart. And that was because the Grinch, last Christmas, he came and like stomped on me and whatnot. And I just stole his heart. How's that? Yeah, I steal a lot of hearts around here. But no, I do. When I get out in the world, a lot of people love to say, oh, you're such a bitch. Yeah, I got my name for a reason. Because I had to put those walls up throughout my life to say, you know what? I've got protection around me. Stay out of my walls. But I noticed that, when we keep our walls up because we don't want to deal with either the anxiety of letting people in or the fear of abandonment because they're going to end up leaving the minute you tear down some bricks, that isn't a way to live. At least for me. Everybody has to create boundaries, but those boundaries tend to actually just be bricks, building and building and building until it is a fortress that nobody can get in. We are all here on earth, in our world, for a purpose. And the purpose is for you to be able to share your shine with others. If you're just sitting in a dark hole thinking that you're going to be all sunshiny and roses, I would second guess that. As we tend to put ourselves in cubby holes, that workplace of, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to work in an office and I'm just going to be one of those people that sit in a cubicle and nobody really gets to see. Some that's good for structure, everybody needs some type of structure in their life. But how many of us actually get out in the world and spend majority of the time outside of our lovely homes serving others, and in return, there's no joy. You can't say, oh my God, I've actually impacted somebody's life today. Guess what? Everything we do is the power to impact not only ourselves, because when we do it for ourselves, I guarantee you're going to be glowing out there in that world. And somebody is going to be impacted by solely you. And I promise, when you can give joy to others, that is the reason why I have been doing this my whole life. Because yes, my smile for someone else continues to keep my smile on my face. Yeah, when they walk away, and I might not see them ever again. But those people that I've truly impacted, they let me know. Oh my God, I was just having a really shitty day. And because of your smile, I found some light. If you don't have anybody around to smile with you, you don't need nobody, baby. You have you. Smile for you. And the minute you actually are around those that either you love, don't know, want to know, all of that will resonate out to the people that you actually want to share it with. Those that don't know you, they may carry you with them, for the rest of their life. Throughout me being in the business that I am, I see millions of people. And when those people come back around, and instead of being the frowny Frank, they end up walking in with, "Hey, Miss B." That is what I live for. I want to make sure that every step that I make in this world, I'm making an impact. I lost the impact that I was looking for myself because I actually was all for everyone else. But as I start getting, my bottle was overfilling. And yes, this winter has been extremely hard for me. For those that are just tuning in. For those have been with me since October, yeah, it has definitely been a whirlwind. I have learned a lot about myself, and some of it wasn't really too good, but it was only a little part. But those are the things that I really wanted to reflect and change, because the only person that it was really affecting was me. I might have thought that I was putting it on other people, but they moved on. All I did was push people away because I kept feeling bad about what was within and was questioning me, my self-worth, my self-doubt. And yeah, I am a badass bitch, and I always knew that. And I was really hard on myself because I forgot that each and every one of us are badass bitches. And if we can look past the negativity that sometimes spews out of people, or out of me at times, yeah, I am really mean when I get angry. But what does anger really do? I understand frustration. I understand sadness. I understand just wanting to beat the hell out of something. But in the long run, what does it really do? It drains us. It hurts us more. And it definitely doesn't make us accomplish anything, except for maybe catching a case. And nobody wants to do that because that's even more hassle and more money and more bullshit, right? Yeah. Everybody wants justice for the things that they feel have wronged them. What is it? It darkens the soul. And let me tell you, misbehaving soul. Oh, my Lord. Yes. When misbehaving soul comes out, everybody has a good time. And I know today, our lovely, lovely Tuesday. Yes, it's Tuesday. And sometimes, if we just have to be that see you next, it may happen. It definitely will happen. I'll be the first to admit. Because, yeah, those frustrations, they're real. And that pain that we harbor inside, if we don't find avenues to actually get it out healthy, it comes out very explosive. And in the long run, all we end up doing is pushing away either the opportunities or the people that may be able to help you or guide you or just make you feel safe. I think most of us really just want to feel safe, protected, loved. But a lot of times, love turns into you're only here to do. And that's where that thin line comes. You may feel as if you're giving out love, but if it is not being recepted or whatever that word is. Yeah, there's another one. If it's not being returned to you, let's make it simpler. If it's not being returned in also a positive intuition gut, not the hurt of the chest, is it really good for you? Does it serve, that 5-minute warning? With our 5-minute warning, ask yourself today, do the things that make you feel good actually feel as if they are serving their purpose? Or the people in our lives, or the things that matter to us, why do they matter to us? And do they actually serve purpose? Are you serving your higher purpose, not for society, but for you? That is my message. Actually, that's my question. I'm going to ask that. I'm going to continue to ask that of myself. And if I'm going to give advice to you, I am definitely going to take my advice. This is more for me than it is for you. And I just want to thank Anti-Social Network for allowing me to have my platform here to be able to share with you my struggles. Yes, I am a badass bitch. They call me misbehaving for a reason. But I promise you, my heart that I have for myself, I give to you to hopefully give you some wellness in your life, because that's what I actually want to do. I want to behave for my wellness. And yes, shaking a tail feather, baby, is definitely part of wellness if that's what makes you feel good. So on that note, I'm going to send out my message of love. 3 words, 8 letters, 1 meaning. I love you. I always leave out with 3 kisses. A kiss for me, a kiss for you, and a kiss to put in your pocket for someone new. You take that to bed with you, baby. See you next Tuesday.